avian flu has occurred in the region, resulting in 5 deaths to date. Nurses and other staff begin calling in sick. When contacted by supervisors, the nurses admit that they are afraid to come into work because of fears of possible pandemic and the danger of spreading flu to their families. As healthcare workers, they receive vaccinations but their families were not similarly protected.
Okay, so ito yung kinikwento ko kanina sa inyo, okay? So dito, nag-alarma na talaga dahil nagkaroon ng kaso, okay, ng human-to-human transmission. So yung mga nurse, yung iba, nag-call in sick, hindi ako makapunta kasi may sakit ako. Okay, yung mga iba, nagsabi naman na, paano yan? Paano kung mahawa kami? Ganyan-ganyan. Eh, syempre, kahit na vaccinated kami, pero yung family kung saan kami uuwi ay hindi vaccinated. Ma'am, hinanap ka. Hinanap ka. Ni Ma'am Shai, meron kulang sa pirma yata. Okay? So, the question is, what legal resource does hospital have if staff refuse to work during a public health crisis? So anong mga step na gagawin ng hospital kung yung mga nurses ay takot or hindi pupunta dahil sa possible pandemic, dahil sa possible human-to-human transmission? Meron ba kaya? Number 2, what liability does the institution face if it operates in the absence of adequate staffing? Diba, si supervisor tumatawag na, ang dami nagko-call in sick, ang dami takot. So, ibig sabihin, walang pupunta. So, ano ang liability ng hospital na during crisis wala kayong ginawa, wala kayong staff pooling? Okay? Next, do nurses have legal obligation to care for patients with highly communicable diseases when that care will put nurses at risk for contracting the disease? Ano ba ang legal obligation ni nurse? Di ba, ang sabi natin kanina, when it comes to ethics, meron tayong duty to treat. Okay? Obligation for duty. Yun yung sinasabi natin. So dito, ano nga ba ang obligasyon natin? Okay? So, iyan. Now, sa question number 1, what legal resource does a hospital have if staff refuse to work during a public health crisis? Now, remember guys, tayo, habang nagwo-work tayo, meron tayong contract, meron tayong kontrata. Okay? So, ang pinaka-relationship natin between the hospital and ourselves is the employee contract. Okay? Now, the employee contract is considered as at-will contract. Kaya kayo bago kayo mag-sign ng kontrata, tignan nyo maigi kung ano-ano ang laman nun. Okay? So, this contract can be written by the legislative body or private contract na sinasabi natin, spell out the terms and condition of the job. As a nurse, ito ang mga job description, ganun. Okay? So, ito yung at-will contract based sa batas ng Pilipinas at based sa specification ng job natin. Next. Question number 2. Does liability what liability does the institution face if it operates in the absence of adequate staff? Okay? All hospitals may be held civilly liable if they fail to maintain adequate staffing and an individual is injured as a result of the inadequate staffing. Ibig sabihin, because of inadequate staffing, yung dinala natin, yung dinalang pasyente sa kanila is lalo pang na nagkaroon ng secondary injury or lalo pang na-code, okay? Dahil kasi walang kasi kulang kasi ang staff, hindi kasi yan pwedeng sabihin ng hospital. Kaya nga, kahit sa hospital, meron tayong disaster management plan. Dahil when it comes to crisis, kailangan talaga sila mag-respond ng maigi. Maliban lang kung nag-respond na sila at wala na talagang lugar saan ilalagay mga pasyente, pwede naman sila mag-declare na pwedeng ilagay na sa ibang hospital. Okay? So, meron talaga din disaster management plan mismo ang hospital to address to this kind of situation. Okay? No standard constitutes adequate staffing. The court are likely to allow hospitals a large degree of discretion in determining whether staffing is adequate or not. So, ibig sabihin, wala talagang batas magsasabi, oh, itong number of staff is adequate. Hindi kasi pwede. Kasi sa hospital, meron tayong sinasabing cycle of census. Ibig sabihin nun, January, February, up to December, meron yan. Low census, high census, and things like that. So wala tayong sinasabing adequate staffing. Pero meron tayong patient ratio per staff. Okay? Now, itong patient ratio, tumataas ito according to the demands of the supply. Okay? Sorry. According to the demands according to the demands. Ibig sabihin yung demands, yung mga pasyente. Kung maraming pasyente, kung ang usual standard is 1:4 ratio, tumataas din yan, magiging 1:5 or 1:6. Pero well distributed. Okay? Hindi lahat ng tigok-tigok mapupunta sa'yo. E di ma-exhaust ka na. Well distributed per staff yan. Okay? So, administrators must ensure the quality of care will not suffer. So, ibig sabihin, as much as possible, para masabi natin adequate ang staffing, all patients are attended and the quality of care are not compromised. Okay? Although wala naman talagang batas sinasabi na itong number na to is adequate staff. Dapat ang hospital ay meron ganitong number of staff. Walang sinasabing ganyan. Depende talaga sa situation. That is the reason why most hospitals or there is a mandate that all hospitals must have their disaster preparedness plan. Okay? Kasi when it comes to crisis, ito yung if-face nila. Okay? Next. Do nurses have legal obligation to care for patients with highly communicable diseases that when care will put nurses at risk for contacting the disease? Now, ang conflict dito is professional values and personal values. Here, professional values, yung obligation mo sa pasyente, and personal values, yung obligation mo sa sarili mo. Okay? Nurses have obligation to employers, and employers have obligation to nurses. Healthcare institutions have an ethical obligation to protect the safety and health of those who work in the institution. So, ibig sabihin nito, to solve sa dilemma na to, yung conflict na to, we have to understand na we are working under a healthcare institution. So meron silang obligation sa atin to make sure that we are safe in delivering care. Okay? Kaya ang dilemma natin sa professional values and personal values, masosolve din yan if the hospital is taking care of us. Pwede magbasa sa next situation. Alisa Lorin.
Case example, an
Wala
outbreak of
din.
an
Si
infectious
Tubalinal
disease.
kanina, wala. Si Lorin, wala.
Hello po, ma'am.
Alisa.
Hello po. Rinig na po.
Ma'am, audible po sila, ma'am.
Sige, continue.
Case example, an outbreak of an infectious disease leads public health officials to believe that a bioterrorist attack has occurred. To avoid panic of the public, however, the officials have made no public announcement of their suspicions. They have requested, however, that nurses be on alert for new case of the infectious disease and to report them immediately, along with the certain information about the patient. A nurse asked her supervisor if she can legally make such reports.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin may balita ng terrorist attack. Pero, hindi nga yan in-announce para hindi magpanik ang mga tao. Pero sa mga healthcare institutions, sinasabi sa mga nurses na be on alert, okay? And report ninyo kaagad kung meron kayong suspicion of any infectious disease of this na kunyari may ganitong characteristic and things like that. And ang sabi, kailangan pati yung information ng patient, kailangan nyo i-report. So ang nurse supervisor nagtanong, legal ba na dapat tayo mag-report ganyan? Ano ibig sabihin niya? Ibig sabihin, you are disclosing the privacy. Okay? Ibig sabihin, you are violating the Privacy Act. Kung for example, kung ang mandate is to report the case and the name of a patient and the whereabouts of the patient. Okay. Now, under the police powers, states have the constitutional authority to require healthcare providers to provide or to report new cases of disease. Okay? Now, kumbaga, hindi tayo mag-ano kasi diseases to again nandito na tayo sa tema na naman about safety, okay, about safety to the public. So although such reporting raises an issue concerning patient privacy, the court upheld the authority of states to require the collection of disease information. So hindi ka liable dyan, so walang dilemma dyan. You can report with the exact name, location, whereabout of the patient. Okay? And that law is also applicable in our country. Okay? So, ang ano kasi, disclosure of privacy na sinasabi natin about patient na ganito, ganon, may sakit, ganyan. Pati yung pangalan ng pasyente sinasabi. Pero, when it comes to law and order, you have the right. So, hindi ka liable dyan. Okay? So when health information contains information that would identify the confidential, kunyari, si patient ang nagsabi, nurse, wag mo na lang sabihin ha, kasi meron akong ganito, ganon. So that means confidentiality yun. Bakit? Kasi it involves a special relationship of trust between two individuals. Okay? Ang privacy naman, mangyayari yan kung, for example, yung access ng pasyente ay na-disclose mo. Yung access about the patient ay na-disclose mo. Like, for example, yung whereabouts niya, yung totoong pangalan niya, yung address niya, lahat-lahat, yung sakit niya. Yan ay masasabi natin, it involves about the privacy of the patient was invaded. Okay, so alam niyo na ngayon ang difference ng dalawa. Okay. Patient privacy and confidentiality, protect patients from harm and give patient control over their personal information. So, ibig sabihin lang nito, it justifies the ethical principle of autonomy and non-maleficence. Okay? So, protecting the public good may actually outweigh the legal, ethical obligations. Sometimes, hindi natin nasusunod yung ethical principles because of safety. So, kailangan talaga mas priority sa atin ang safety of the public. Okay? So, kung for example, sinabing hindi mo nga sasabihin, hindi mo na sinabi na meron pala nag-report sa hospital na meron pumunta sa hospital na maraming communicable conditions, pero hindi ka dahil takot ka baka ma-violate mo ang Privacy Act. Yung pala kinalat na ng kinalat ni patient or nagkalat na yung sakit niya. So, sino liable? Ikaw. 'Di ba? So, when it comes to safety talaga, usually, yung privacy and confidentiality is not considered or hindi natin kailangan i-honor dahil we are after the safety of all. Yung mas karamihan. Okay? Ayun. So, do you have any question? Wala? Question? Madi, nandyan ka na. Kanina wala ka. Alisa Tubalinal, nandyan ka na. Kanina wala ka. Yung mga tinatawag ko, nililista ko yan. So kung walang sumasagot, absent. Ibig sabihin, nandito lang na nakalag-in lang. Kanina sabi ko magbasa, hindi ka nagbasa. Jerome, yes.
Ma'am, si Alisa po nagsasalita po siya kanina. Si Tubalinal po. Nung
Kanina?
parang hindi
siya.
parang hindi po naririnig ng ibang ma'am, kasali sa Meet yung ibang account po. Kasi nagsasalita rin po si Belen kanina. Tsaka si Tubalinal po.
Naka-off yung niya, yung mic niya. Tawag ako ng tawag, wala. So anyway, nandiyan kayo. Okay. Kapag tumatawag ako, please respond. Okay? Kasi I am marking you absent kapag hindi kayo nagre-respond. Okay, so kung wala ng question, okay, sige, Aguila. Okay, so kung wala ng question, I will let you go now. Mag-break lang tayo ng 15 minutes and then mag-disaster, disaster RLE, okay? And i-discuss natin yung pang prelim nyo. Okay, Dr. GC natin, doon tayo kasi nandun yung materials. Okay? So,
po,
sige
ma'am.
na, break muna 15 minutes.
Thank you po.
Bye!
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Sige.